Hi, today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the monitoring capabilities that RouteBlaze has. It has all the basic stuff to monitor resources, queues, channels on MQ series, runner monitors that would monitor the health of the runtime environment. But what that really does is tells you whether the runner is available or not, is it up or down. But sometimes we want to know more than that. We want to know if the runner is actually behaving itself properly. And the way that we might want to do that is to take a look at the output that the runner generates in its log files and look for specific patterns that might indicate a problem, such as exceptions and other sort of strings that we might want to match against that gives an indicator that things are not as they should be. So to illustrate this process, I have a monitor agent running on a Amazon Web Services cloud machine, and I also have an execution agent running on the same box. Right now the project is designed just to throw exceptions, so this timer route here every second will invoke the test monitoring group, and all it does is writes a file to this folder, and when that folder is available and if the permissions are correct, it will just plod along as normal. But what I want to do is set this up so that monitor it for exceptions in its log file, and then illustrate what happens when we get a problem by changing the permissions of this folder to make it unwritable by RouteBlaze, which should then cause us some exceptions when it tries to push to that folder. So right now this is disabled. This window here is the log output of the runner, which will keep open so that we can see what's happening in real time. So if we go ahead and bring up all the routes for this should start writing a file every second. So let's go ahead and create a monitor to monitor its log file. So the file that we're going to monitor is the log file for the runner called test. And in the search term window, we can match across multiple files, multiple lines. So if we wanted to say have a couple of lines of context, this will match anything. Any line that has exception in it will get matched, and then we want the next line as well. We'd like the alert to be delivered to an email address. In this case, send it to me. This notify every X matches is about reducing the amount of volume you're going to get in your inbox if it's a recurring exception that might occur potentially quite quickly. So this is basically saying 1 in 10. The first time there's an exception, you get an email. The 11th time you'll get an email. The 21st time you'll get an email. But maybe what we want to do is have exponential back off. If we suspect we might get a very large number of exceptions that are just looping round really quickly. So you might say, well, if this is enabled, we get an email on the first event, we get an email on the 11th event, we get an email on the 101st event, then the 1001st event, and so forth. This number here represents the period of calm at which point this system resets itself back to, after a period of quiet, you then get a single exception or match. You'd want to get an email for that. In terms of the email that you get, so we've got a templating system, and we can configure this. So if we look at the default log file template, what we can do is create a subject, and then the event itself generates information that may well be useful to the operations team. So I could say issue with file, and then I I can select from a bunch of keys that are available from this monitor type. So the log file path, for example. And I can say hi, problem for monitor name. Put the name in that we create the monitor with. And we'll say search terms were. Put that in as well. And in terms of the matching, where we wanted the context, we want to see the actual lines that came through the log that we matched against. Put some context in. Matched lines. And we might want to know, well, you know, is this the first, the 11th, the 101st, or the 1001st occurrence of this problem? We'll put that in as well. So that template will be used when the event fires. So the notification fires. So if we create that, we can see now what the search terms are, the file that's being monitored, the last time we've got an email, and the event count will appear here. So let's go ahead and deny RouteBlaze the permission to write to the folder, this folder here, bad permissions. Right, so straight away we're starting to get exceptions in this log file. And we can see here that it's sent an email out, and the event count is going up. So we should get an email shortly. Okay. So search terms, we've got an email. Search terms of this is the context, and it's ramping up quite quickly. We've had 400 of these. We've got another email because this was the 11th instance, and this is the 101st event count. It'll need to be 1001 instances of this. Now, if this is too much, then we could just increase the modulo from 10 to 100, and it's 100 times 100. So we can control the amount of email traffic that we're getting off. So now what I can do is go back to this and set the permissions back to normal. And then after 60 seconds, this will reset, and we'll be able to capture a single event if it happens again. Great, thanks.